why I'm not married yet. Why I'm not married yet. Why I'm not married yet.
One that lost friends of 15 years because they didn't want to be associated with me anymore because I walked away.
Are you ready for marriage? Is marriage in the stars for you? Is everything lined up for you as a man to get married? And if you do get married, are you waiting and willing to suffer the consequences just in case it doesn't work out? Really? Stay tuned to the end and see who gets this week's Stomp Award. Coming up next. Welcome to Rewind, my new online digital platform. Before we go any further, don't forget to do one thing. We're going to take care of some housekeeping by hitting that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for future notifications. That way you are notified when a video comes out each and every week. Rewind with Tommy Handsome. Let's get right to it. Over 50% of all marriages end in divorce. That's over 50% of all marriages end in divorce. Why is this statistic so high now? Years ago, our parents and our grandparents, they got married and they stayed married for 30, 40, some even 50 years, if not go their own way. But why are marriages failing? Why in this day and age is so hard not only to find somebody to marry, but when you do get marriages, 80% of those marriages, or should I say divorces, are initiated by who? By women. Women think the grass is greener on the other side. We got to remember one thing, that grass on the other side has to be mowed as well. Here's how it works when it comes to marriage. Over 50% of marriages end in divorce. So you have 10 marriages. Out of the 10 marriages, 5 of them end in divorce. That leaves what? 5 marriages, or should I say 5 couples that are still married, because that's 50%. Now, you take those 5 couples that are still married. 3 out of those 5 couples are not happy with the marriage. 3 out of those 5 couples want to end it, but they don't for certain reasons. Number one, it could be for financial reasons. You ever heard the saying, it's cheaper to keep her? A lot of times you cannot afford to live by yourself, man or woman. So you stay together because of financial reasons. Another reason you stay together is because of the kids. You don't want to disrupt the family. You want to keep the nuclear family. So you stay together because of the kids. And another thing, you stay together because of religious reasons, because you say that getting divorced is a sin. So that's another reason why you stay together. So the 5 couples that are left, you have 3 that are unhappy with the marriage, but they stay together no matter what. Now, a lot of them sleep in separate beds, separate bedrooms, but technically, they still together. Technically, they still married. So you have 2 couples left that are happy. Remember, we started with 10. 50% of marriages end in divorce. That's 5 left. Out of 5, you have 3 that's unhappy with the marriage, that if they had it any other way, they would get divorced too. That only leaves 2 couples that are happily married. Are you ready to tie the knot? Are you as a man ready to get on one knee and say, I do? Now, there's another dynamic. The other dynamic is women are complaining that men are not approaching them. Why aren't men approaching women? Men are choosing to be by themselves. Men are choosing to be single. Men are happy being alone. Men are happy the way things are. Women are not. Women have to be married. Women have to have that companionship. Women need that somebody to cuddle with. But a man can take it or leave it. Women can't. Women are emotional creatures. Women deal with emotions. Men are physical creatures. Men deal with the physicality. Women think and deal with things that are emotional. So that's the difference, one major difference between men and women. That's why women like marriage. That's why women like commitment. That's why women like the jointness of two people getting together and having a family. But since a man is physical and not emotional, a man doesn't need that to substantiate himself as a man. Now, let's look at the laws. We have what is called no-fault divorce. No-fault divorce means one thing. If a woman cheats on a man and a woman gets divorced from that man has to pay alimony to that wife. That man has to pay alimony to that woman, even though it was her fault, even though she dealt in infidelity, even though she was the one that cheated, the man pays for it. So, is that a good deal for a man? In that case, that man is getting a raw deal. He's getting a raw deal because he has to pay no matter what. It's one thing if he effed up, but when she effed up, and I do mean effed up literally, he still has to pay. So the laws when it comes to marriage and divorce have to change if men are getting on one knee and saying, I do. The laws got to change. Another thing, kids. For the most part, kids stay with who? The woman, the mother, because mother are more maternal. Fathers or men are not really maternal. Men are more providers. Women are more nurturers. So when you go to court and you want full custody of your kids as a man, the judge is going to look at a couple of things. One thing he's going to look at is called tradition. Tradition is what? The man is usually the breadwinner or the hunter. He goes out. Women are usually the nurturers and the people that stay home. So when you want full custody of your kid, who was getting up in the middle of the night to feed the kid, to change the diapers, and to do all the other things? It was mainly the woman doing this. You get nothing. You don't get the kids. Therefore, you have to do what? You have to pay alimony and child support. She doesn't, because the kid is looking at what? The judge is looking at what? Tradition. And you women out there, if you're a woman out there and you're not married, or you were married and not remarried, why aren't men approaching you? Put down in comments the reason why you feel men are not approaching you, and put down the reason why you feel men today are not saying I do. And what about the lies women tell? What about the chicanery, the things that women do to trap a man? The things that women do to get men in jail, the lies that they tell. What about the story of Carly Russell when she faked her own kidnapping? She's driving down the highway and she says she saw a toddler at night walking down the street with a diaper. Next thing you know, she fakes a scream, and then she faked her kidnapping. Not only were police looking after her, but the neighborhood as well. Now look at all the time and the resources that were spent looking for this woman. And she faked it all. She lied about everything. And then when you interview the parents were saying, oh, I wish you would come back. I hope she's okay, this and that, because they also believe the kidnapping as well. But look at the trauma and the trouble this 26-year-old put everyone through. Why do women do this? What is the secret of women disposing all these lies, these webs and deceit that these women are telling, that these women are spewing. Therefore, suppose it was another scenario that this woman said that XYZ man or a bunch of making up these stories, making up these crimes that spent many man hours and much time trying to find and to dispel this case. Women, what is wrong with modern women today? I've said this time and time again. So if all this is going on, if all these variables are coming into place, why would a man deal with these modern women today? Why would these men marry modern women today? Why would these men deal with modern women today? And is it just women here in the States? Is it just women here in Western countries? This is why men are getting their passports and going overseas to the Caribbean, going to the Asian continent, also going into the African continent and finding women overseas. Because these modern women today, with the lies, with the deceit, and everything that's going on, why would any man be bothered with you women, you modern women today? So this week's Stomp Award goes to you, Carly Russell, for faking a kidnapping and looking at all the resources and the time that went on to find you, and this whole thing was a hoax. Ladies, gentlemen, you want a filtered analysis of videos just like this one. I want you to do one thing. I want you to hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for future notifications. That way you are notified when the video comes out each and every week. And don't forget to share this video and leave a comment, and let's get the conversation started. You're watching Rewind.